Hi there. So I want to talk about the fall. A lot of so-called stores that might be closing down, and a lot of items that might be missing from the stores. To be honest with you, for some people, because I don't hear everybody. I haven't listened to a lot of videos on YouTube, and here's why. Like I have two channels, right? I have Divine Beingness, and then I have the Journey into Highest Potential. This one. So I haven't been on that page, Divine Beingness, not even to not only just not making uploads, but I haven't been on that page to even look at any subscriptions or any feeds, anything like that, right? I would have to subscribe from a whole lot of people. So I've just been staying on the Journey into Highest Potential page because it was newer, and I didn't subscribe to the same people that I was subscribed to on the Divine Beingness channel. So I basically only listen to one or two people, and these are people that's basically in a type of new earth, but not the new earth that's necessarily being pushed. I guess on television, I don't watch it, but I mean, I've been hearing about the new earth being pushed, and when something is pushed like that, where it's all over media, that means it's some kind of trap. Because I mean, to me, it's some kind of trap. Okay, yeah, it's some kind of trap. It just came to me that New Earth is the metaverse. It's the metaverse. That just I saw like some black and white, so that's duality, and duality is supposed to be coming to an end. So anything dealing with duality going to a new earth is false because duality is supposed to end. We're going into a cycle with the divine feminine coming in, and with divine feminine, there's no duality there. So I just saw like a checkerboard looking floor when I talked about the new earth and being pushed all over media. And when I saw that has to do with duality, and it looked like the metaverse. I just happened to see that as I was talking. So, anyway, I could be wrong. I just happened to see that. But this is what I was going to say, though. We're being pushed with all this stuff closing down. I get to say stock up, and they looking to see what people are doing, and people are somewhat complaining, even though they say stock up. They're almost speaking as if it's wrong that things are being removed from the shelves. Well, the only thing is wrong, and I'm going to take responsibility for this myself. The only thing that's wrong is our comfort zone. That's the only thing that's wrong. The only thing that's wrong is that we're too comfortable. Those stores are supposed to close down, and here's why. A lot of these major stores, Target, Walmart, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, whatever, I've been to them too, right? I didn't realize that these stores are able to stand because of blood sacrifices. A lot of these people that are in major movies, that got all these record deals, and it's because of our own personal experience from other people that I've come into contact with that's into that world of trying to move up the corporate ladder, whether it's getting a raise on a job. It's regular people that's in these cults that sacrifice family members to climb up on a social ladder and economic ladder, but not to the extent of celebrity. So yeah, they sacrifice their families. I dealt with that like when I was a little kid with family members in these type of cults, the black and white checkerboard. Okay. And yeah, it was a blood sacrifice, but because they are not trying to get that much, it wasn't as severe as somebody who's trying to be a major singer and winning Grammys. I mean, that's some major stuff going on. They might sacrifice themselves or whatever. But I know from personal experience, when I say these things, that's why I've kind of been offline, because it's been things I'm dealing with, and that's why I've come to what I'm saying right now. So none of this stuff is what I've actually seen on YouTube or what somebody else told me. It's literally spiritual battles that I've had to deal with my whole life. Is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying now, while I know what I know. These corporations have to go, because the age of blood sacrifices and all that dark black magic, and when I'm talking about dark, I'm talking about using low vibration, lower dimensional entities to get what you want. That age is passing. That's passing. That's going. And a lot of these big corporations like Target, I know we like to shop there. I'm still guilty buying things off Amazon. That's why I say it's no judgment. I'm holding myself responsible too. That's why the only thing that's wrong is our comfort zone. That's the only thing that's wrong is our comfort zone. Not the fact that they're closing and taking stuff off the shelves. What's wrong is our comfort zone. Because this stuff is happening to take us back to who we were before all this unnatural stuff came in. And I remember saying that before about what they're actually helping, what they're actually might be doing us a favor when they take things off the shelves and when they remove food and when they want to call themselves removing water, which I think is spirit. Okay, that means it's the spirit is gone. When you talk about some water off the shelves, when you got supposedly a planet that's 70% water, but now you can't seem to find no water to drink, that sounds like the spirit is gone. There's a lot of spirit from a lot of people that's missing. A lot of folks ain't there no more. They ain't themselves. Their spirit is completely gone and taken over by another entity. When people say stuff like that, water is missing, I think the spirit is missing. I think people have been taken over by AI. I mean, I'm laughing, but that's really what happened. Because I even have a friend that says she see people glitching out. Like, they're no longer themselves. People don't exist no more. Like, there's literally only a remnant left. And some of us have to fight for our souls back. You know? But, yeah. I'm just going to I'm not going to bring up the name of a corporation, but it's a corporation that I'm aware of that I'm dealing with, now. And I don't want to say too much because when I'm still dealing with stuff, I don't want to go into detail like that. I go into detail when I'm completely out of it and over it, right? And I could be out of it now, but it's like it needs to be cognized. Like it's not cognized. So like, you know how you're free? It's almost like the slaves being set free, but then it's like you've been dealing with stuff for so long, your mind now needs to grip onto the fact that you're free because you've been fighting for so long, and that's what I'm kind of dealing with right now. And I don't want to go into detail, but I'll say this: those stores are closing down because they have been able to run like that because of blood sacrifices, but not necessarily them sacrificing their family members. All these celebrities are sacrificing their family members to those people's gods. Okay? Because I heard somebody say this, that a lot of these people that run the world, right, that actually run the whole world, there's only a few people, like maybe a handful of people or two handfuls, that literally run the whole world. And they don't want to keep sacrificing their sisters and brothers and nephews and nieces, right, and grandchildren. They don't want to keep doing that. They have to sacrifice. They have to give blood sacrifices to these lower level gods in the underworld, right? They have to make those people, these people that run the entities or whatever they are, and run the world, which is very few, right? They have to constantly give blood sacrifices. They are not off the hook. And so that's why people get these record deals and these movie deals and all this big stuff, whatever it is. They could be hosting TV shows, whatever it is, or, running big businesses. People, they say, well, we'll give you all this money. You'll get this big record deal. You'll give this, when you want something that big. They have to have a routine. A lot of people, especially celebrities that's been in the game for 30 years and they still real popular now, like they have to constantly do their rituals and blood sacrifices. You can't stay on top like that. You can't do it without giving something. And really, when these people are giving blood sacrifices for these record deals and these movie deals and all this television stuff, yeah, they might be getting nice paychecks, but it's really going to those gods, those underworld gods of the entities that run the world, because they don't want to sacrifice their own family. They don't want to keep killing their family. So they giving sweet deals to a lot of people in exchange for all kinds of movie deals and stuff. And then they feed those people to their gods, those blood sacrifices. And so that era has come to an end. Those people are being moved out. And with those people being moved out, you're going to lose things like Disney World. You're going to lose things like Target. You're going to lose things like Walmart. You're going to lose things like Wendy's, Burger King. I know it's another popular restaurant that I don't want to bring up right now. There's a major one that everybody knows about. I don't want to say that name right now. Okay. I don't know if that restaurant is having problems. I haven't checked on it yet. I hope so. But Yeah, so a lot of stuff is closing down in the entities that run this world that's controlling media. There's time for them to go, and they don't want to bow out gracefully, right? And so they want to push all this fear and tell you need to get this and 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 get this. You know, pushing this fear so you can stay on a lower vibration because it's supposed to be a new cycle coming in, and they pushing all this stuff. And even though people saying stock up, stock up, stock up, I get stock up, but that shouldn't be the message that you have to say every single day. Something is unhealthy about that. That you shouldn't have to say that every day. I don't listen to, like I said, I'm not on my other channel where I even see those videos with those kind of titles. I haven't seen anything like that in the last 2 or 3 weeks because I'm not on that channel where, even though I don't click on the videos, I can still see the titles. I don't even want to see titles anymore. Okay, I don't want to see none of it. Because for the longest, what were we told? And that the world is mental and that we are co-creators of our reality. But yet and still, here we go with the constant stuff that's pushed by some other people. Like, why are we always taking in something that's pushed by somebody else? If we're co-creators of our reality, then why would I take in everything that somebody else has created? Like, why would I take in a narrative that somebody else has created? If you're supposed to be a co-creator of your reality. And like, if you're looking at that stuff, I granted you could be a co-creator of your reality, but this is why I don't make regular videos. This is why I don't get into stuff where I have to keep up with the news. Like, some people are very spiritual. I can tell they're in a higher mind. Because if I'm in a position where I'm learning from them, then they got to be in a higher mind if I'm learning from them where I am right now, But at the same time, they're taking in they have to take in unhealthy information sometimes in order to give it to the public. And to me, that's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. Because you got to be careful. Like, you got to clean that out. It's almost like they got to go through a mental cleansing every day to have to constantly read articles and look at Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, like, I can't get into stuff like that to see what's going on and see what the narratives are and what people are fussing about and people getting canceled. It's like, it's constantly taking in other people's narratives, and I'm getting intertwined into that reality, even though you can try to create your own too, and some people can create what they want. But at the same time, they're sharing realities with other folks by constantly looking at a lot of these videos and what's on television or whatever, these television shows. It's still, you're creating a piece of your reality, but constantly taking that in. It's like you're accepting the reality or narratives that come from others too. And when I say you, I'm just speaking in general. I'm not really tearing down anybody in particular who's listening, But yeah, so I just stayed away from that because of what I've been dealing with, though. And it's like taking in too much other stuff right now. It's just not going to be healthy to take in too much other information or everybody else's narrative. It just ain't healthy. It's not, for what I've been dealing with. It's not healthy to keep taking in somebody else's narrative right now. Okay. I've seen too much in the spiritual world with what I have to deal with. It's just me, right? How, something else is always trying to create a reality for me on certain timelines, and I always have to do something about it, right? And so if I constantly deal with that all the time, I don't want to look at anybody else's narratives right now, okay? I don't want to look at anybody else's narratives right now. Right now, I have to work on myself and work on self-perfection, right? And when I say self, I'm talking about self-perfection, like getting to the highest, I would say highest version, but I don't like to say highest version. Literally get into your highest truth, right? I'm going to say your highest truth. If I'm constantly working on that with myself and working on self-perfection, so everybody else can't be trying to create your reality for you because they need your energy, right? They need your essence. I'm using other words besides black magic right now. They need your energy, your essence. They need all, because they don't have it for themselves. See, the people that let me say this. People that keep wanting to throw black magic, keep trying to mess up your life so they can get your energy, they're out the door. They literally don't have a soul left. They can't have a soul. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why they can't have a soul anymore is because they shouldn't keep needing to take your energy like that. The fact that somebody, and when I say you, like I said earlier, it's just in general, but Anybody that keep doing that, even if they're negative, they don't have to really be. They don't have to know that, like, have the knowledge that they're doing anything. But just the fact that they're either negative, there's some kind of way they're sucking your energy in some kind of way, whether they know it or not, or even if there's a lot of people do it on purpose, like they want to keep taking stuff from you, messing up your life because they're trying to get something of theirs. I've been seeing that a lot lately, and a lot of other people have been experiencing that too, not just me. Where I'm seeing this a lot among brown people too. Brown people in the United States of America. It's definitely been going on a lot in Africa because I hear those stories for all the time. But it's like it's getting real bad amongst brown people where they getting so desperate where they gotta sacrifice a doggone squirrel if they can. Like literally, like they getting desperate. So I'm just like, I don't want brown friends right now. What's wrong with them? You sacrifice a doggone kitty cat. Give me like $50,000, I'll sacrifice this dog. Like they something wrong. And the more they keep doing it, and they don't stop. And like if they doing it to a person, that person don't die. They will literally keep going on for 2 years. They will not stop. The reason why is because they can't stop. They gonna die. Those people are gonna die. They should have got another job. Like get another job. I would rather get another job. Because you go sacrifice somebody to get some money, even if what you're doing works for a little while, when that person starts to work on themselves and align with their highest truth and start really working on centering themselves and getting grounded, when that person started to really, really work on themselves, the person that threw that black magic is going to eventually die or they're going to lose a child. And that's why they get so desperate and they keep throwing magic at you and trying to take you down because they're going to die. They should have just got another job. Get another job. Just go work at somewhere. Go work somewhere. Like literally everybody, all of us that have a job, we're helping this nasty system some kind of way because a lot of these major corporations survive on blood sacrifices anyway. Okay, especially a lot of people that die in these hospitals and all that stuff. You know, the kind of things they do is black magic all through there. Okay? Because if it wasn't, you could have just let people take herbs and heal themselves that way. Let nature, see, they don't want to let nature. So the very fact that there is a hospital, period, means that it's mental manipulation. Tricking you to think you need to go to a hospital and get all this stuff made in the lab and taking you out of nature. That's mental manipulation. That's black magic. Okay, so we all work for this stuff, right? We can't help but to do that because the whole world is like, it was controlled by very negative entities that it's hard not to get into that stuff, even if you have your own business. Somehow you're getting paid, somehow you helping feed, because even when you order anything from Amazon, when you go to Target and shop, you're still helping them anyway. You're working some kind of way, earning your money, and you're taking your money back to these big corporations that survive on blood sacrifice. So we all been involved in it, but when you purposely do things, you're involved in cults, and you just to get any kind of money, you willing to kill a little baby. Like it was this lady. It was this baby named Cupcake from 2 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. Little girl named Cupcake. I think she drowned in a pool or something. And no. The little girl named Cupcake went missing. Okay, she went missing. I will never forget this little girl because that's when I realized some of these mothers, not all, some of these mothers were having babies just to sacrifice them. That little baby went missing. And then she was found, I think in a water somewhere in a bag and all chopped up or something. I can't remember. But that was, previous to that, it was a similar story of another little girl that died like that. And they were raped prior to being killed. I was like, these stories are sounding too similar, and they always found later. And I don't understand how babies that young keep leaving the arms of their mothers like that. And this is when I was working in... This was during the time, no, this was more than 3 years ago. This was like 2019. This is when I was working in Woodland Hills. I was doing home health in Woodland Hills. It's in a part of Los Angeles near Calabasas. So I had people in Calabasas that I would see. And I remember talking to one of my patients who was a brown lady, and I said, "What's going on with these little girls going missing? Why is she leaving the arms of her? She's too young to be so easy to leave the arms of her mother like that." And I just drew the conclusion that a lot of them, maybe not all, but a lot of them was sacrificing their children. But they never get rich because they have a poverty mindset. So they never get rich. They sacrifice it, but they can't get rich because they have a mindset that's not built on wealth. They don't have that foundation. They have a poverty mindset, so they can sacrifice the whole world and they're gonna be poor because that's just what kind of mind they have. You know. But yeah. But that was just me talking about brown people. Like, they getting so desperate. They getting so desperate. Like, I don't even want to hardly be friends with anybody, any brown folks right now. Really nobody. You got to be careful with all of them, because I see in the spiritual realm where all of them are being used by entities, no matter what culture they come from. But I'm really seeing a lot of brown people. Like, I'm seeing a lot of brown people, you know. And so I'm just staying clear. I don't want to call nobody. I never call nobody my brother or sister. Anyway, I just don't see them as my family. I can't see it. I think there's literally only a remnant left in the world, period. And the one that's left is fighting to not be taken down. Okay, the ones that the remnant is left still have to do spiritual work in the spiritual world to make sure that they not being messed up too, because this is a lot of things changing and the entities are getting desperate. Okay. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say really, is that these corporations, they supposed to be missing stuff on their shelves. They supposed to be missing all this stuff. They supposed to close down. It's not to look at it and say, "Oh, look what's happening. Look at them taking food off their shelves." It's not wrong to me, because that store don't need to stay open. They survived on blood sacrifices, and we have been too comfortable that we literally think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong anymore. Only thing I see wrong is comfort. A comfort zone is the only thing I see wrong. Okay, we become too unnatural. We become GMO. That's the only thing I see that's wrong, because it's a lot of stuff we buy from these corporations is GMO anyway, especially in the United States of America. It's GMO anyway. Why get upset if they even take some lettuce, salad? Like, even in Whole Foods was taken over, I think, by the one that runs Amazon, Jeff Bezos, I believe. But it used to be owned by somebody else like a few years ago, like maybe 5 years ago. And it was taken over, I think, by Jeff Bezos. I could be wrong. It could be somebody else. But ever since that it was under new ownership, a lot of the stuff that was supposed to be, organic was no longer organic. So, okay, they need to take the food off the shelves. Like, when I go to places like India, when I went to Israel, even in Israel in 2007, and I go to places like India, go to places like certain places in Africa, right? It's no such word as organic. Go to Jamaica. No such word as organic. I went to India, lived there in 2018 for a few months. They don't even know what chemtrails are. They have no idea. Not to say that India don't have its problems, because it does. Okay? And I don't want to praise India. India has its problems. Okay? The number one unsafest place, I think, for a woman was listed. India was listed as the most unsafe place for a woman. Okay, that's so it's a deep hatred of the feminine over there. So I'm not going to praise them, but what I'm saying is that there's no such thing as organic. You would never, when I went into the stores and shopped this in India, you won't see the word organic. It don't exist, because everything's organic. When I went to Israel in 2007, you won't see the word organic, because everything's organic. You'll see the organic in the United States of America. So they need to take the food off the shelves. They do. And we need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to become natural again. We need to get more about nature again. Even though we're in a virtual reality, but still, even in virtual reality, you become more about nature. You still becoming more natural, and you get more to your real, true self. You know, you get more in alignment with truth, and you get more in alignment with your soul. You're still ascending in some kind of way, instead of staying in the false, this crap that's going on. You know, I haven't been looking at the news lately, but I mean, the crap that we've been dealing with. You know. So that's all I got to say. The age of the blood sacrifices, the age of that low dimensional underworld, that stuff. People are returning back to who they were. Their ability, people abilities are coming back online again because we fell so low in consciousness. We fell into Maya. We fell into an illusion. A lot of us are rising back up to the truth, and a lot of people's abilities are coming back online. Okay. And that's what these entities don't like. That's why they keep trying to push fear and tell you to take vaccines and trying to take water off the shelves and stuff. And get your abilities back, and you'll be vibrating so high that water will just come naturally. Maybe it'll be underground like it used to be, instead of from the top. And that's all weather manipulation anyway. Because in a virtual reality, really, I'm trying to understand. I know in a virtual reality, I've seen it too many times. Like I have experience to know that it's a virtual reality. And before I end this, I want to say this. So I was looking at something, and it was talking about removing harmful nanobots, right? Removing harmful nanobots. And when I listen to it, when I listen to things, I try to do it in meditation, because when you learn to take things in a certain way, it's with a certain intention, it's more effective than just kind of just being empty listening, right? And I saw a coworker of mine look like she was coming apart. Now, that nanobot thing was for me, right? Because we all, in the United States of America, it's hard not to have nanobots. Everywhere, really, but literally in the United States of America, it is so plastic, like... that it's hard not to have nanobots, especially with all the chemtrails and with all this stuff they push and all this. It's hard not to have it. So it was supposed to be for me, and I still do it for me, right? But for some reason, I saw a coworker of mine. I don't want to she's Asian, not brown, but that doesn't mean brown people don't have to get nanobots off them too. But literally, like I might have nanobots on me that I have to cleanse off. This woman, she's an Asian woman, but I don't want to get criticized saying all Asian people are like that, because that's not true. But I'm just saying this particular one is an Asian woman. She was just completely made up of nanobots. Like she wasn't a real person. She wasn't a real person. Like she was not a real person with a soul. Okay, that's what I'm saying. She was literally created by a computer. We're in a virtual reality. I saw her literally depixelating. When I had my eyes closed. And I like her. I speak to her all the time. And that lets you know, if you're able to, like I have a friend that say that she see people glitching out. Like because she's like getting heightened, right? Her abilities are coming back on, and she's getting heightened, and so she's seeing a lot of people that she see them glitch out. But you're still able to, if you see people that's glitching out, and you're still able to interact with them, this person has a soul, right? But if you're able to interact with them, that lets you know that first of all, the fact that they're glitching, you're in a computer system. They can't glitch out unless you're in a computer system. And if you're able to interact with them, you're in the same computer system they're in. You're in the virtual reality too. And it's time to detach from it. It's time to stop being used to it. Get more about nature. You get more about nature, even though all of that is a part of the virtual reality or holographic world, however people want to say it. You still getting closer to your highest truth. You're still getting closer to your highest truth. And so, hold on a second. But that's it. That's all I want to say is that, before I was going to end it, I was talking about those nanobots and how this lady, I saw her face coming apart when I listened to the thing about the nanobots. And I had my eyes closed, and, I was just trying to take in the information to benefit me. And then I happened to see her, and her face was coming apart. She was depixelating. She's not a real person. but I can touch and feel her. That means we're in the same. That's why I was doing it, because I'm able to touch her, right? Means I'm in the same virtual reality with her. So I was doing it for me, but I happened to see her. But I think it was to completely open my eyes to see what we're dealing with here. Like, you're not in the real world. Snap out of it. Wake up, like detach from it. Detach. All right? It's time to just kind of know the truth as much as possible. And the truth is up to you, because you learn the truth from yourself more than you can learn from listening to somebody else. I mean, there's somebody else that can enlighten you, help enlighten you, but most of the truth is going to have to come from yourself. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I was just talking about these corporations, how they need to close down. I don't care about the food off the shelves. It ain't natural, no way. Not even a whole food store is natural anymore, ever since it's been under new ownership. And so they need to take the food off the shelves. What a lot of us need to do is get back more into being natural and not depend on them. Okay? Yeah, it's okay to stock up until you stock up enough to get yourself together, not just stock up, oh, we got to stock up. But what's going on right now is going to be forever, right? In their reality, right? Because if they're going to keep focusing on it, they're making it their reality. They're taking it somebody's narrative. And so in their reality, since they're going to keep taking it in, yeah, true, stock up. But stock up enough so you can get yourself back to who you were before you became dependent on governments and all these stores, okay? Before we became dependent on having somebody to give us mail. So stock up on everything you need to give yourself time to get back to literally being like a superhuman, or being able to create, because the world is mental. Right? The world is mental, okay? And so stock up enough in order to get back to that. That's the only thing I can see, right? But not stock up in a way like these people I constantly hear people talking about, I don't constantly hear them talking about it now, but before, because I don't listen to them now. But before, I would constantly hear them to say it's time to stock up, but they don't say for what reason. So when are you going to stop stocking up? Because that right there is not going to end. It's going to be forever. So when do you stop stocking up? Are you going to stock up for the next 50 years, as long as you think you're going to be alive? So what is your plan? Stock up and do what? Stock up and then what? It can't be just stock up, because that right there that you're stocking up for is going to be forever. They're not going back. What they're doing is going in a different direction. And so stock up, and then what next? What's your plan? And do you have a spiritual plan? Do you have a plan on being able to create with your mind whatever food you want? Manifest food, manifest things. Are you working on perfecting yourself at that level? Because if you're just stocking up just to have enough for the next 2 years, and then what? Because what they're doing is going to be forever. So then what? Okay? And so, yes, I totally agree with stocking up, but not stocking up just because. Oh, yeah, stock up, and then what? Stock up and how long do you plan on living? Next 25 years, 50 years? Because if you plan on living another 50 years, okay, and then what? You going to buy enough stuff for 50 years? Are you going to move to Africa? A lot of people talking about, let's move to Africa. I don't know. Like, stuff ain't going down over there. If Spirit ain't tell you to go there, you're going to go there and get messed up. You would have been better off staying in Chicago. I don't mean to say that, but Chicago is get a bad rep. You better off staying in the United States. If you go there without Spirit telling you to go there, you would have been better off in the United States, because you get messed up going somewhere without Spirit telling you to go. Okay, even though somebody else go there and have a good life, but they follow the direction of Spirit. The other person might run there thinking that they're supposed to go and flee somewhere else, and they might get messed up over there. But anyway, that's it. Now, I'll talk later.